So I thought I would focus this video about charity or charity. You give, it's a gift. You can give, but this is gift. And so this time of year, this era, this season, because it's, Thanksgiving and almost Christmas, and people are getting ready, so they'll try to donate things that they don't need or don't want to other people that need some things, because maybe they're wanting new things for Christmas or whatever, or to buy new things for the holidays, and they don't need their old things, and so they'll give them to charity. So I saw an article about things that you need to be aware of about, how to, give to charity. So the first one is look at, we have a tendency to just go to Goodwill or to some other charity that may be close by, that's a big one. They know, oh, I could just drop it off or whatever. But I want to suggest some different things that you look at, because now is the time to look at it before you start like, oh, just purging, purge, throw away, right? Purge. So first thing of any organization is look at the administrative cost. Remember that we did this for boss. This is for anything that's the director or assistant director, are those things, not the people that are just working, regular, that they're gonna make the minimum wage. So look at the administrative and executive cost. How much is that? How much do they make being a director or an administrator or an executive? So, and if it's really high, maybe not donate to that specific place. Then if, like, for example, you donate to a large organization and then they send all their things to, out of state or out of the country, and if you want to do that, that's fine. But if you want to impact people that are local, that are low income or poor or homeless, make sure you see, like, where do they send the different donations. Sometimes these big organizations will have like a store, so you can go in and buy things that are cheaper. But sometimes they'll donate it to people in need. And sometimes it's out of state, like if you're going, oh yeah, they give to someone who has suffered through a hurricane or something like that. That's fine. Or sometimes they send it, out of the country. But so it depends on what is it that you want. Do I want to really impact people that are close to home, that have suffered, that are homeless, or they're just poor, low income? If you want to do it in your area, make sure that organization donates, in your city or your county. So look at that. They also, how do they treat their workers? Many places will hire, remember we said this is welcome, but this is also hire. They hire people with disabilities, but they may pay them less than someone who doesn't have a disability. But if they're doing a job, they should, get paid the same. So, except if it's an executive or that type of thing. But if it's just a regular, just a regular job at that place, then they shouldn't. They should pay the workers the same, starting out with the same experience. So look at that. Be careful of that. So if they're not treating people with disabilities the same, then maybe you should look to donate to a different place. And some of these places that have the store associated with their donation center, Sometimes they will sell the things at a little bit higher price than maybe you think that they should, or I guess it's you know, you know, thrift stores. Sometimes they'll sell cheaper than if you bought new, but some organizations don't do that. They charge more, so you have to be careful of that. And then also, some people are really concerned about the environment. This is like culture, situation, environment. Yes, it is initialized, but it will. So, like for example, if it's like if you donate and then they just throw it away into this, the landfill. It's a big pile, right, when you see it, when you drive by it. So they may just be doing that. So you're thinking, well, that's not really why I wanted to donate. I really wanted to donate to make sure that other people have things that they need. So sometimes they're going, oh, it's not needed, it's broken, or we didn't sell it, or whatever. And so they just, trash it. So you might want to be careful of that. I have a few solutions when we get to the end. And they're saying, oh, here's a good word that I wanted to do, transparency. So transparency means what? It's, you can see through, or it's clear. Like, oh, I want to be transparent here. I want to be clear. I want you to be able to understand. But transparency, this can be the same thing. You don't really see through. You could, or through, because it's all the little gaps, right? Transparent is seeing through all the gaps. So this is see through. Instead of see through, you could do it that way. I like this one just because it's all the different gaps. And it could be, or if it's clear, or this transparency, you might want to do it a different way. Instead of trying to use that sign, you might want to use what it means is they are informing people where the money goes. Now, that's a lot of signs, and it's a definition, but that's really what it means. So if you want to say that company is not transparent, they're not allowing people to know where all the money goes. So that is more clear to that word. But we get, like I was saying before, sometimes we get to a habit of words that we use and what do they really mean, and what do they really mean to someone who is visual. So we can say transparent and then we'll say clear. And that might work. They're not clear, or they're not, I would almost have to do the definition if they said transparent. They're not allowing people to know where all the money or the donations go. They don't inform you. This is news, letting you know information, because it's coming from your brain and coming out, and it's spreading out. So that's what that means. So that is a word to work on, transparent. How are you using it? In any way. Okay. And then some of the donation centers. Now, I like to use sometimes play on words because it's kind of like colloquialisms for the deaf, because it's not really the center of something, but but a lot of deaf people use that for center, and it's not really. A donation center isn't the center of a city or a center of a block. So, but it is called a center, right? So I guess that got started because it was in the center of some place, or started out that way. But really is you could say a donation store or donation place, which is very English also, place. This is location. So location, place. So we're going to use a deaf slang, so donation center. And I don't know if you had caught on to that in previous videos when I did center. What was I saying about that one? Oh, yeah, so some of the donation centers are just too cluttered. Like people just drop it off, they just have it there, and it's not organized. You maybe want to look at that, and maybe it's not being utilized, not being used with the U hand shape used. And then the way that it should be for donations and getting it ready for donations. Sometimes these centers, the places, if they're in like a poor area and you're thinking, oh, that's a good idea, but because of their taxes, because they're a business, then the other houses or apartments in the area, now their taxes are raised. This is cost or even taxes. It depends on your sentence structure, but because I've already talked about cost, I wanted to go ahead and spell taxes so that it would be clear, transparent. And so many places, they don't want things that are broken. If you have something that is old or you're not using anymore, or if it was your mother's or your grandmother's, if it's not broken, bring it. If it's clothes that are in still good shape, bring it. Sometimes they don't accept, like if it's really out of style, like if they have a store and they want to make sure that they have a profit, and make money or whatever to do that. So sometimes they'll refuse, turn down. This is denial, turn down. This is refuse. So they could refuse some items. But so just look at the donation centers. So sometimes if you donate, you're thinking, oh, that'll help me on my taxes. But sometimes they only have a small amount of tax benefit, and if you don't have like a specific percentage, then you can't use it as a deduction on your taxes. So just be careful of that and be aware of that. And okay, so that's all. So my suggestions are maybe you look at the different organizations. For example, Purple Heart, they accept furniture, furniture, because I don't know if it's a table or a nightstand or a chair, furniture and clothes. So that's a good place to donate. Like if someone in your family passes away, what do I do with all these clothes? They have suits or really nice things, and donate it. And the Purple Heart, they either do things, they'll give it to their veterans. Remember, we did veterans already, so I spell it veterans or ex-military. They give it to their veterans, or like if they need a job, and oh, here's some nice clothes. Okay, good, thank you. Or the furniture, if they need it for their home, or sometimes they sell it and give them the money. So there's different ways you can look at and see what do they do with the donations. That's what I was talking about, the information that they tell you, where do they put it, what do they do with it. That is the transparency about what they do with what they get. So there's different organizations. You may have in your city their own donation center. It's not nationwide. It's not big popular like Goodwill or the Salvation Army or even Purple Heart, because they have centers in big areas. But you can donate. But look at your donation centers or stores in your city and see where does that the things that you donate go. And if it's really local, like it's like where I live, they call it the Purple Door, and it is a store. People donate things that are really nice, and then they sell it for cheap. And so people can get some nice things that they need to go to work or they just can't afford. And so they get really nice things. So it stays local. So this is location or area, so local. Because this is my area, and then I do this because it's in the area. right? It could be the city or it could be the county, but it's in your area. So that's what you're really trying to look for is these local donation centers sometimes, because if you want it to go to people that are really in need in your city, if they're homeless or if they're poor, low income, all those three areas, or sometimes people are going, you know, I just can't really, I have a job, but I just can't really afford, that's kind of the working poor or lower middle class, which I think that's most of us now. So you can do that. So just watch and be careful where you're going and who you're donating to, and who are you wanting to donate? What is your goal? Here it is. Here's my goal. I'm going to donate, and then I'm going to go toward it. Say I'm not reaching it. The only way I can reach my goal, right? So practice. Think about how you use the words, and think about ways that it could be the best way. And if it's conceptually correct, it'll be good. So practice, have fun, and I'll see you later. Bye.